Thank you. Thank you. Dajahao. Great to be here in Taipei. You know, I love the central role that Taiwan plays in the entire tech ecosystem. I just feed on the innovative energy of the Taiwan ecosystem. I just love the fact that we have Computex here, and great for the opportunity for Intel to be part of this incredible event for the entire tech ecosystem. So let me again say thank you for having us at Computex Taiwan 2024. You just heard a famous quote from Gordon Moore in the video, and if you looked at that, we actually, with the permission of his family and the magic of AI, we trained a model on Gordon Moore in his 70s and brought that back to life. And this famous quote, whatever has been done can be outdone. And isn't that the very essence of Computex? This event isn't just about what's happening today, it's about what's happening next. And the things we'll talk about today will shape our future for years to come. As we've seen time and again, and at the first Computex, which, by the way, do you know when the first Computex was? 1981. And we were working on introducing the next year, right, a technological marvel called the 8286. Yeah, 100,000 transistors on a chip, and that was a big deal at the time. Today, it's a relic, one of those many relics that I worked on in my career, right? As we look now to have 1 billion transistors on a single chip, and even looking to 1 trillion transistors in a single package by the end of the decade. And unlike what Jensen might have you believe, Moore's Law is alive and well. And Taiwan continues to play a central role. You know, Intel has had its operations in Taiwan since 1985, and next year at Computex, we're going to have a little 40-year birthday party for Intel and Taiwan. IT, Intel and Taiwan together. But in our work together is giving rise to the AI era. You know, and when I think about this AI era, I consider it like the internet 25 years ago. It's that big. Every device will become an AI device. Every company will become an AI company. And we see this as the fuel that's driving the semiconductor industry to reach $1 trillion by the end of the decade. And Intel has a unique position in this as the only company that gets to service 100% of the AI TAM, an AI continuum from semiconductors through products, and that starts with the Intel Foundry. And chips are the heart of the global economy, and the world needs more flexible and resilient supply chains. And this has given rise to us creating the world's first system foundry for the AI era. And our foundry business will also drive the next generation of your innovation, but also the Intel products. And today I'm going to focus our attention on the Intel products portfolio and how it is enabling AI everywhere. And as we think about this, it's the most consequential era, potentially, of the extraordinary careers that I and we have been able to have. And when the internet arrived, do you remember, your first Netscape experience? It's like, yeah, man, this morning I got on the internet. Wow. Right? Now, you're on the internet every minute. Put your phone away. Listen to me, okay? Get off it, right? And if you're a teenager, you're on it like every 10 seconds. It's just become pervasive in everything that we do. And AI everywhere will push the boundaries of what's possible across every human experience. What we do in the data center and cloud, what we do in the edge, what we do in the PC, and everywhere in between. And with open standards, security, sustainability at the center. So let's start with the data center. AI has been central to the data center, and what Intel is doing has been the key to enabling the cloud data center for decades. We have a stunning 130 million Xeons powering data centers around the world. And this installed base is a huge advantage and a huge opportunity for us collectively. Our customers need infrastructure that's scalable and flexible. They need standard platforms to integrate with existing systems to run those decades of software, right? Those exabytes of data that they have in place. And they need an open ecosystem to maximize choice and value. Of course, they also need more compute and performance, greater density, greater energy efficiency, greater server capacity. And this creates a set of issues that they have to deal with as they have more and more demands for those power and energy solutions. And today, we're launching the solution for this next era. Today, we're launching Xeon 6 with E-cores. And we see this as an essential upgrade for the modern data center, a high core count, high density, exceptional performance per watt. You know, it's also important to note that this is our first product on Intel 3. And Intel 3 is the third of our 5 nodes in 4 years as we continue our march back to process technology, competitiveness, and leadership next year. And this enables us to have the choice for high-density, scale-out workloads for the future. In simple terms, performance up, power down, and drastically smaller footprint. So let's just give you some visual demonstration of what this means. And you know, with that, Chuck, if you could come on here. And what do you have here, Chuck?
Well, Pat, I've got 2 racks here. Now, in this first rack, it is full of Xeon 2nd gen scalable processors. So we've got 20 of them in here, all loaded, ready to go. Over here, well, it's basically empty.
Okay, so why don't you do this, Chuck? And I know you didn't get enough workout time in today. I'd like you to fill this rack, right, with the equivalent compute capability of the Gen 2 using Gen 6, okay?
Give me a minute or two, I'll make it happen.
Okay, get with it. Come on, hop to it, buddy. And you know, it's important to think about, you know, the data centers. You know, every data center provider I know today is being crushed by how they upgrade, how they expand their footprint and the space, the flexibility. You know, for high performance computing, they have more demands for AI in the data center. And having a processor with 144 cores versus 28 cores for Gen 2 gives them the ability to both condense as well as to attack these new workloads as well with performance and efficiency that was never seen before. So Chuck, are you done?
I'm done. I wanted a few more reps, but you said equivalent. I even put a little bit more.
Okay, so let me get it. That rack has become this.
It has become that.
Now, there's a lot of leftover space here, Chuck.
There is. I mean, if you're going to reimagine the data center, right, you want the best power and efficiency possible, but there's all those new workloads you want to run, so we left some extra space for those.
Well, okay, so we've showed it space-wise, but can you give us a demonstration of what this looks like?
Absolutely. Now, depending on who you listen to, the internet is roughly 60 to 80% media.
Yeah,
right?
Incredible amount of the bandwidth, incredible amount of the workload is media workload.
Exactly. So in the lab right now, I've got 1 2nd gen, and I've got 1 of the brand new Xeon 6s. You can see them up on screen, and they are transcoding like crazy, right?
Okay.
It's hard to see though, right?
Yeah, okay.
So let's do a visualization of that in real time. Now, the Xeon 2nd gen, it is doing 56 videos at one time. Xeon 6, however, 144 videos at one time, and doing them much, much faster. So you can see the frames per second, each of those, 628 on the 2nd gen, almost, over 2,600 on the Xeon 6. I mean, a 4.2x or up to 4.2x performance gain on Xeon 6.
So this is pretty incredible. What does it mean for every data center? Time to upgrade to Gen 6. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thanks, Pat.
And what you just saw was E-cores delivering this distinct advantage for cloud native and hyperscale workloads, 4.2x in media transcode, 2.6x performance per watt, and from a sustainable perspective, this is just game changing. You know, a 3-to-1 rack consolidation over a 4-year cycle, just one 200 rack data center would save 80K megawatts per megawatt hours of energy. And Xeon is everywhere, so imagine the benefits that this could have across the thousands and tens of thousands of data centers. In fact, if just 500 data centers were upgraded with what we just saw, this would power almost 1.4 million Taiwan households for a year, 3.7 million cars off the road for a year, or power Taipei 101 for 500 years. And by the way, this will only get better. And you know, if 144 cores is good, well, let's put 2 of them together and let's have 288 cores. So later this year, we'll be bringing the 2nd generation of our Xeon 6 with E-cores, a whopping 288 cores, and this will enable a stunning 6-to-1 consolidation ratio. Better claim than anything we've seen in the industry. And you can see why Xeon is gaining momentum in the marketplace. Simply put, performance up, power down. And that's why Xeon is driving strong adoption across the ecosystem, and more to come. And in Q3, we'll introduce the E-core's big brother, the P-core version, Granite Rapids, our next generation of the Xeon 6 family of processors. Xeon back on its way in a big and powerful way for the industry and the ecosystem. Thank you very much. More to come. Clearly, the conversation is about AI and how these next generation workloads evolve. And not only can Xeon be part of today's cloud workloads, but critically, your databases already run on Xeon. And increasingly, what we're seeing is that the LLMs are being complemented by real-time database environments, or RAG, retrieval augmented generation. And when you think about it, here we are in year 22 or 23 of cloud computing. And today, over 60% of workloads now run in the cloud, but over 80% of the data remains on-prem. Wow. You know, this extraordinary amount of data that's unmonetized and unleveraged by businesses. Xeon plus RAG changes that. RAG becomes, in our view, one of the most important enterprise workflows, combining your data and databases, many of those real-time time series data, you know, with LLMs. LLMs may be trained on data that's a month, a year, or years old, but combining that with real-time time series embeddings makes an extraordinary combination. And not only is it powerful Xeons like Xeon Gen 6, but it's also being complemented by our AI accelerators, turbocharging that with Gaudi. And customers are looking for high performance, cost-effective Gen AI training and inferencing solutions, and they've started to turn to alternatives like Gaudi. You know, they want choice. They want open software and hardware solutions, and time-to-market solutions at dramatically lower TCOs. And that's why we're seeing customers like Naver, Airtel, Bosch, Infosys, and Seeker turning to Gaudi 2. And we're putting these pieces together. We're standardizing through the open source community and the Linux Foundation. We've created the open platform for enterprise AI to make Xeon and Gaudi a standardized AI solution for workloads like RAG. So let's take a look. So Diana, what do we have here?
All right, so I thought we'd do a quick demo of that AI appliance that you mentioned.
Okay.
So this is running on Xeon and Gaudi 2 with components from OPEA, such as the Redis vector database.
Okay.
And we have here an example that's RAG plus LLM. And I should mention that the LLM we're using is based on Lava, which is a multimodal LLM. So that will come into play as we do this demo. So let me start with maybe a quick medical query.
Okay, so this is Xeon and Gaudi working together on a medical query, so it's a lot of private, confidential, on-prem data being combined with a open source LLM.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool.
All right, so let's see what our LLM has to say. So you can see, like a typical LLM, we're getting, you know, the text answer here, standard, but it's a multimodal LLM. So we also have this great visual here of the chest X-ray.
Okay, I'm not good at reading X-rays, so what does this say?
I'm not great either, but the nice thing about, and I'm going to spare you my typing skills, I'm going to do a little cut and pasting here. The nice thing about this multimodal LLM is we can actually ask it questions to further illustrate what's going on here. So this LLM is actually going to analyze this image and tell us a little bit more about this hazy opacity, such as it is. So you can see here it's saying it's down here in the lower left. So once again, just a great example of multimodal LAM.
So real time, this is how healthcare providers could be taking advantage of AI solutions today with RAG.
Exactly.
Okay. So what else do you got for us?
Okay, well, you know, I mean, RAGs, of course, as you said, are great for, you know, up-to-the-minute information, also, you know, confidential on-prem data.
Okay.
So, and I know this RAG is super up-to-date. So I thought maybe I would ask it a question I've been wondering about recently.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so it's actually, it has to do with the prices of the Gaudi 2 and Gaudi 3 kits. So I figured I'd just ask that.
But those aren't publicly disclosed.
I thought I just, what?
Those aren't publicly available information.
Oh. Okay.
I guess they are now.
Might be now.
Right. Did you check with our PR department before you did this?
It just seemed like a great question. I thought
well,
it would be good for
okay.
the demo.
Well, you know, so the price of Gaudi 2, Gaudi 3 AI kits look pretty compelling.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. You know, but this chatbot just broke some news, so let's go a little bit further.
Okay.
How does it compare with competition?
All right, let's take a look and see. I'm thinking the chatbot will know this as well. It seems to be pretty up to date on everything. So let's take a look and see how we do with competition. Oh, look, it's got an answer for that as well.
Okay, so pretty compelling. So in other words, it crushes the competition.
It looks like it. It's looking great.
Well, I'm really starting to like this chatbot, and thank you, Diana, for an incredible demonstration of real-time database. So.
Sure. Thanks, Pat.
And as you see, you know, Gaudi is not just winning on price, it's also delivering incredible TCO and incredible performance. And that performance is only getting better with Gaudi 3. Gaudi 3 architecture is the only MLPerf benchmark alternative to H100s for LLM training and inferencing, and Gaudi 3 only makes it stronger. You know, we're projected to deliver 40% faster time to train than H100s and 1.5x versus H200s, and you know, faster inferencing than H100s, and delivering that 2.3x performance per dollar and throughput versus H100s. And in training, you know, Gaudi 3 is expected to deliver 2x the performance per dollar. You know, and this idea is simply music to our customers' ears. Spend less and get more. It's highly scalable, uses open industry standards like Ethernet, which we'll talk more about in a second. And we're also supporting all of the expected open source frameworks like PyTorch, VLLM, you know, and hundreds of thousands of models are now available on Hugging Face for Gaudi. And with our developer cloud, you can experience Gaudi capabilities firsthand, easily accessible, and readily available. But of course, with this, the entire ecosystem is lining up behind Gaudi 3, and it's my pleasure today to show you the wall of Gaudi 3. You know, and together with our partners, you know, we're thrilled with the momentum and the mass market opportunities that Gaudi 3 is bringing forward to our customers, because they want choice, they want TCO, they want alternatives, they want performance. And Gaudi 3 and our partner ecosystem is delivering exactly that. But beyond the edge, we see an even bigger opportunity, and that is in PCs. And when I think about the PC market, you know, this is the most exciting moment in 25 years. And about 25 years ago was Wi-Fi. How many of you remember Wi-Fi? Yeah. I mean, and right, you know, we finished the Wi-Fi standard, and then what happened in the marketplace? Nothing. You know, and about 2 years after the standards were in place, Centrino was launched. And this unleashed energy in the ecosystem, and all of a sudden, every coffee shop had to have a hotspot, and every hotel room had to have it. And our application for the PC moved from productivity to internet. And similarly, we see the AI PC being that Centrino-like moment. We expect that by 2028, 80% of all PCs will be AI PCs, and Intel is leading the way. Core Ultra is already providing AI capabilities. We have 300 plus applications, 500 plus AI models. We've already shipped 8 million Core Ultra devices since our December launch last year. And we're working with the entire ecosystem to drive this capability into the marketplace as we enable the AI PC into the marketplace. The entire ecosystem is behind us, and you can see it right here. Introduce this next generation of chiplet-based design, and Lunar Lake is the next step forward, and I'm happy to announce it today. And Lunar Lake is a revolutionary design. It's new IP blocks for CPU, GPU, and NPU. It'll power the largest number of next-gen AI PCs in the industry. We already have over 80 designs with 20 OEMs that will start shipping in volume in Q3. I also want to say, particularly here in Taiwan, a special thanks to our friends at TSMC, which were critical to help us with many of the core technologies that were required to make Lunar Lake possible. This is a great example of the collaboration that we see in the foundry industry with Intel and TSMC and enabling new standards like UCIe as well. So let's dig a little bit more into why Lunar Lake is such an important step for the industry, enabling this next generation of thin and light AI PCs. First, it starts with a great CPU. And with that, this is our next generation Lion Cove processor that has significant IPC improvements and delivers that performance while also delivering dramatic power efficiency gains as well. So it's delivering Core Ultra performance at nearly half the power that we had in Meteor Lake, which was already a great chip. The GPU is also a huge step forward. It's based on our next generation Shi2 IP, and it delivers 50% more graphics performance. And literally, we've taken a discrete graphics card and we've shoved it into this amazing chip called Lunar Lake. Alongside this, we're delivering strong AI compute performance with our enhanced NPU, up to 48 TOPS of performance. And as you heard Satya talk about, our collaboration with Microsoft and Copilot+, and along with 300 other ISVs, incredible software support, more applications than anyone else. Now, some say that the NPU is the only thing that you need. And simply put, that's not true. And now having engaged with hundreds of ISVs, most of them are taking advantage of CPU, GPU, and NPU performance. In fact, our new Shi2 GPU is an incredible on-device AI performance engine. Only 30% of the ISVs we've engaged with are only using the NPU. The GPU and the CPU in combination deliver extraordinary performance. The GPU, 67 TOPS with our XMS performance, 3.5x the gains over prior generation. And since there's been some talk about this other X Elite chip coming out and its superiority to the x86, I just want to put that to bed right now. Ain't true. Lunar Lake running in our labs today outperforms the X Elite on the CPU, on the GPU, and on AI performance, delivering a stunning 120 TOPS of total platform performance. And it's compatible, so you don't need any of those compatibility issues. This is x86 at its finest. Every enterprise, every customer, every historical driver and capability simply works. This is a no-brainer. Everyone should upgrade. And the final nail in the coffin of this discussion is some say the x86 can't win on power efficiency. Lunar Lake busts this myth as well. This radical new SoC architecture and design delivers unprecedented power efficiency, up to 40% lower SoC performance than Meteor Lake, which was already very good. So simply put, Lunar Lake, the flagship platform for AI PC innovation, bar none. Unmatched combination of performance, compatibility, applications, software enabling, and power efficiency. We are committed to the AI PC. We're going to drive it forward with our ISVs, OEMs, ecosystem partners, and most importantly, we're going to deliver it in volume in the marketplace. So building on Meteor Lake and Lunar Lake for mobile, more to come. And Arrow Lake is our next generation product we'll introduce later this year that will enable AI to all PC categories, starting with the desktop in Q4. And in 2025, it just gets better, you know, with Panther Lake. And Panther Lake on Intel 18A will accelerate and scale our position. And I am so excited about this product because this represents the culmination of so much of what we've been working on since I've been back at the company. You know, this is our 5th node in 4 years. In just the next week, we'll be powering on the first chips coming out on this wafer on 18A. 18A brings process leadership back to Intel where it belongs. And it's been a historic space of process technology innovation and product innovation. And rest assured, we're going to have a lot to talk about at Computex 2025 because Panther Lake's going to be coming to life in a powerful way. So look forward to seeing you and all of our partners here for 18A Panther Lake in 2025. And as you think about Intel, you know, it's our global scale from client, edge, data center, and cloud. It's our installed base, all of which is based on open standards. We believe in building ecosystems that are flexible, customizable, and cost-effective. And we believe in Moore's Law, and it is alive and well. And as I like to say, until the periodic table is exhausted, Moore's Law isn't dead, it's alive and well. And we'll continue to build the trusted brand leading on security and sustainability. And most importantly of all, we got you. We have a powerful ecosystem that's at the heart of our success. And you heard from some of that ecosystem at the start, and it's only fitting that we bring our time toward the end to hear again from this ecosystem. Let's hear from them now.
OMW.